This here's from The Hollywood Reporter. Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni march toward mutually assured destruction. I guess the reporter here doesn't want to take sides. This is their main point, so let's see what they got. Looks like they're trying to set up some kind of a metaphor in the beginning here. I'll go through it real quick. We need to control the narrative, famously declared Kendall Roy in HBO's Succession. Across 4 seasons, the neurotic eldest boy of the Roy clan anxiously struggled for power, scheming and manipulating, only to watch one convoluted effort to conquer his father's company, Waystar, fall apart while Kendall's reputation collapsed. The Blake Lively vs. Justin Baldoni feud over their time making it ends with us, which swaps out the fictional Waystar for Baldoni's real-life production company Wayfarer, is a Hollywood drama where every character looks increasingly like Kendall Roy. Wow, okay, good writing, guys. Have you read the lawsuits instead of the press coverage? Good question. I'll admit I have not read them all. That's like 300 pages of reading I just don't have time for, so I guess that's part of their point. If you only read Lively's 80-page complaint, you'll be convinced Baldoni is a fake feminist who made grossly inappropriate comments to his co-star, forced her into not safe for work compromising scenarios without consent, and then stealthily ordered a successful social media campaign to smear Lively for speaking out. There's so much smoke witnessed by so many named people who will doubtless be deposed that you cannot believe there is no fire. Okay, so their point is if you read Blake Lively's actual 80-page complaint, you'll be convinced she's right. Then, of course, they go on to say, if you only read Baldoni's 224-page amended complaint, you'll be convinced Lively is a bullying diva who, aided by her husband, Ryan Reynolds, manufactured a list of out-of-context harassment complaints in order to seize creative control of a film, forced him to sign a 30-point confessional, and then overreacted to social media backlash by slipping her accusations to the New York Times. Several of Lively's claims are disputed with additional purported text, and it's easy to conclude that she misrepresented at least some of her allegations. Well, he's got the longer report there. All right, so they make their case that you can't go totally by the surface level stuff, which I agree with. Then they say in some poetic words that if you read both of these, you'd never want to work in Hollywood ever, and you'd rather do some underwater welding or operating mining equipment. And they say if you're having serious conversations about astroturfing and crumbs or erasing telltale emojis from leaked text, you're having a wrong turn somewhere. Let's not say that stuff isn't important, or, let's not say it can't be telling, but I'll agree. There's subjectivity there. You can't say, well, she did the prayer hands emoji and he did smiley face, and that means they were in great shape together or whatever. I get it. Which isn't to paint both plaintiffs with the same brush. In the filings, Lively comes across as someone who would order the launch of nuclear warheads over not getting a booth at a restaurant. Whereas Baldoni seems like someone who would burst into tears when his Tinder date fails to praise his unsolicited dick pic. Okay. That was actually really odd. And this is written by a dude. Okay. I mean, you know what? I really don't like that. Implying that Baldoni was someone who would send that is implying he's a creep. It's implying, like, he's a weird guy. They say something about Lively, but it's not really as targeted. It's not as specific of an insult as that. That's a weird thing. You could say to anybody, oh, they get really pissed. They'd start a nuclear war over not getting a restaurant seat. You could say that about anyone, man. But, dick pic, that's really weird. All right. So I'm going to have to think, because of that, Hollywood Reporter is probably kind of secretly on Lively's side, or they wouldn't let that slip through. It's just weird. All right. Making any judgments about the actual validity of their complaints is the height of foolishness right now, with so much legal process runway still ahead. One feels like teenage Marvin in the backseat of the car in Pulp Fiction when a debate broke out between murderous hitmen, Jules and Vincent. Man, I don't even have an opinion. We've been through this with Depp, where the media is like, well, you don't know what you're talking about. All you know about is what you see online, all that information. Why don't we wait for the court case to come out? Then the court case comes out, and the same shit that was online plus more is presented in court. Just feels kind of like the same thing. Like, you guys don't really know what's going on. Maybe Blake Lively isn't making this stuff up. Maybe Blake Lively is really the victim. You never know, guys. It looks even Steven, right? I don't know. I'm just kind of not buying it. I think the fact that Justin's got like over 200 pages and she's got less than 100 says something. They say here, a man accused of workplace not safe work harassment, it seems, doesn't trigger the socials quite as much as a woman accused of being a mean girl. Well, mean is a bad way to put it. We're talking about defamation and stealing control of a multi-million-dollar project. To just say mean girl, a 14-year-old girl could be like, ooh, that's a cheap-ass shirt you got on in front of a group of people and it's mean. That's an oversimplification. So, yeah, gonna say we got some closet Blake supporters here. And the thing is, the accusation is a proactive thing. So it's gonna be judged in a different way than the person who's actually being accused. Because where I'm from, we have a phrase called innocent until proven guilty. Not the other way around. That's one of the biggest motherfucking things it seems like this generation's getting wrong. Because when I was growing up, that's what it was. I'm not saying it was a perfect world. Shit happened, people got away with stuff, but it was a lot more of a thing in the air back then. Like, well, they're probably innocent until proven guilty. So what they try to say here, basically, is it's not going to work out for either one of them at this point. They go back to something Oprah Winfrey said that I don't care about whatsoever, and back to this guy Kendall, but we got their gist of it. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. If you're not subscribed here, consider it. If you don't, I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.